Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's have a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to practice, right? Aloha from Galera and happy International Yoga Day. My name is Elle Adda. I am the founder of Fuel to Flourish, and we're supporting MindU's mission to help 1 million Filipinos overcome stress, anxiety, and depression by 2025. And the way that we do this is by sharing behavioral health practices that promote stress adaptation. So stress adaptation is the ability for anyone, it's the ability of the human mind and the body to not only support itself in healthy ways through stressful situations, but to also be able to adapt to those stressful challenges so that it can become stronger and grow more resilient moving forward. So stress isn't actually the problem. Stress is very useful to help us grow stronger if we know how to control it or adapt to it. Because if we don't, what happens? We get controlled by stress. We get overwhelmed by the giant list of to-dos, the deadlines, the expectations. Our heart begins to palpitate, the heart rate rises, our breathing becomes more shallow and constricted. The body pumps cortisol and stress hormones like adrenaline, which are good to help us move and adapt, but if we don't know how to use it, those overload of those stress hormones actually interrupt the body's normal function and like our metabolism, our digestion. It communicates through the nervous system to the rest of the body that we're in a state of stress. And so that's when we gotta fight or flight. What happens to the brain waves here is it becomes incoherent or erratic. And when we're in this state of incoherence, we can't think properly. Literally our brain, it shuts down the prefrontal cortex that allows us to think clearly. And so we have a flurry of thoughts that have this negative bias or fear, uncertainty, or doubt. And so we can't feel our best. And because we're in this weak state of lowered or incoherent energy, we can't perform our best or make the best decisions for ourselves and those around us. But the beautiful thing is the body was designed to adapt. Now, yoga, which means the union of body, mind, and spirit, is all about practicing different exercises that help bring the mental focus into a state of coherence or balance, help bring our heart rate rhythms and our breathing or our respiratory rates, as well as the circulation in our body and the hormones that we feel into a state of coherence or balance or a state of optimal energy. And so in order for us to get into these peak states of energy, these practices help us to also think clearly. The brain waves are more balanced, so all of a sudden we think and feel better and we can perform our best as well. And so how does yoga do this? How does yoga get us into a state of coherence or balance? And so yoga does 4 main things. The first is mind-body awareness. It allows us to pay attention to the mind and the body and actually listen to it to become aware of the different sensations and what's happening. The second is mind-body coordination. So once we are aware of the mind and body, we can start to influence it or control it. And first is, of course, with the breathing. When we're able to lengthen or expand or breathe fuller and fewer breaths, then we actually are able to tap into our heart rate rhythms and calm them down. And we're able to calm our nervous system down as well, and as well as our blood pressure, just by slowing the breath down. In the same way, when we're moving in these different postures, by placing our bodies in these different movements, we're actually promoting circulation of energy, such as our blood flow, our oxygen, and the nutrients that it carries. It allows us to experience heightened endorphins or hormones and neurotransmitters that make us feel good, like oxytocin, endorphins, dopamine, nitric oxide. So you see these people walking out of a yoga class and they're all like, yeah, man, it looks like they just smoked something. But they are high off of their own supply, because when we have an increase of circulation, blood, oxygen, and balanced hormones, then the body is able to perform at its usual, natural, and optimal state, or a state of coherence. And the third thing that yoga promotes is self-regulation. So by being able to go into certain postures that challenge us, like a balancing posture or a meditation where you sit down and try to just be present, going through these states, these little states of stress, and being able to control our breathing and redirect mental focus in the middle of a meditation if we're distracted, or to be able to redirect mental focus and control our breath or in the middle of a difficult or challenging posture. And what this is slowly teaching our body and our nervous system is that in real life, when challenging situations occur, that we can simply, again, control our breathing, regulate that heart rate in our nervous system, and redirect our mental focus. And this is what will allow us to then not just be able to cope through the challenging circumstance, but to adapt and be more resilient moving forward. And the fourth thing that yoga promotes is, of course, our spiritual states, these higher states of meaning and purpose in life. Because finally, when we're able to work through, not run away from, but work through these mental and emotional or physical blockages or stressful states, when we can practice through it, then we can access our true seat of power, which is what brings true fulfillment in our lives, our value system. So when we're no longer busy worried about stress or work or finances or the opinions of others, we can spend that mental, emotional, and physical energy on the things that truly matter, which are our values, gratitude, relationships with others, and how we choose to show up in the world for ourselves and those around us. So we'll begin this practice with some simple breathing by placing both our hands on our lower belly. And the intention is to breathe in and out through the nose from the lower belly, breathing deep, full breaths, expanding on all four corners of the lungs. And once you reach the top of that breath, on your exhale, you're going to exhale through the nose with an audible sigh, so like a and you're going to let that breath go as long as you possibly can until there's no more air left. And again, in from the lower belly, and repeat. So place your hands on your lower belly and begin with your intention for the practice today, why you showed up. What is this going to give you? Is it more clarity, more focus, more joy as you step out into your day? Whatever it is, just be grateful for your practice and begin to breathe from that lower belly, filling the lungs in completely. On your inhale, stretching and expanding through all four corners of the lungs, all the way to the top of the head. On your exhale, allow that vibration and the sensations to tingle all throughout the body. Be aware of how the body softens. Using that exhale, using that sound to massage the vagus nerve, bring a little bit more relaxation to the body and the mind. So the posture we'll begin with is a hip opener. So you'll begin by placing your right foot in front of your left, like this Indian seat, and you can fold forward from there. Or if you'd like more of a challenge, you can either place your right ankle on the inside of that left leg or on top of that left knee, depending on what challenge you'd like. So from here, roll the shoulders back and down, reach the chest forward, take a deep in breath here, lengthen through the crown of the head, and lead forward with the chest. Tuck the chin to the chest and reaching the arms forward. Inhale, use the breath as the anchor for your focus during this practice. And be willing to accept whatever arises, for the opportunity to use the breath to move through it. Reach and plant your hands out on the left and breathe into the stretch all across the right side of the body. On each inhale, breathe into the area where you feel the tension. Visualize creating space within the tension. And on the exhale, relax the body and allow yourself to observe the different sensation as you soften into this posture. Gently release your hands and walk them back to the neutral seated position. From here you can switch sides, bringing the left foot in front of the right, or stacking the left foot on top of the right. Rolling the shoulders back and down, reaching up to the crown of the head, lifting up out of the hips and reaching the chest and the weight forward slowly. Reach and plant your hands out on the right side and breathe into the stretch all across the left side of the body. The hips are the strongest muscles in the body and often the most tight, so hip opening stretches are a great way to relieve stress in the mind and body as it enhances our focus, our mood, and our energy. Walk your hands to neutral and slowly roll up the spine one vertebrae at a time. From here, you're gonna let your legs out in front of you, and we're gonna do a forward fold. So just scooch your hips back, roll the shoulders again, back and forward. You're gonna lift up out of the hips and reach the chest forward and down. You can use your hands to grab the outsides of your feet or just the outsides of your legs. Or if you'd like, you can just interlace your fingers over the neck and tuck the chin to the chest and reach the weight of the body forward and down. Tuck the chin into the chest and use deep, full breaths in and out through the nose to lean into the tension, breathing in all across into the area of the back. Visualize sending your breath to expand the space between each vertebrae. This is going to enhance the circulation of blood flow and spinal fluid into the brain. As we do this, just notice the change in sensations as you feel the body receive more oxygen, nutrients, and all those pleasurable neurochemicals. Getting a little high off your own supply here. Slowly roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Rolling the shoulders again, up, back, and down. You're going to plant both hands behind you. You're going to reach the chest forward, up, and back. And allow the neck to hang behind you. Open up from the chest here. And breathe. When, not if, but when you get distracted to a train of thought, or when you find the mind being busy, that's okay. Let it happen. That's what the brain does. Just gently practice bringing the focus back to the breath. And you can sigh with that sound to help relax the nervous system even more. And you can make your exhales longer until you release all the air from your lungs. Gently release into the inhale. And concentrate your focus on the present moments, on all the different sensations in the body, and why you showed up today. And just be here. And if you get distracted again, that's okay. Just observe it without judgment and just practice coming back to the breath, to the body, to the right now and why you're doing this. And you can practice this mindfulness over and over as you need it. And from here, push away from the ground with your hands, bringing the spine back to neutral. The next posture, I'm going to meet you on the ground. We're going to lay down. Just face me, and we're going to extend our hands on the outsides like a letter T here. We're going to lift that leg up, place our left hand on the outside of that right knee, and we're going to lift that right knee up and over so that the right knee rests or gently kisses the floor on the left side. Now the right shoulder may come up, that's okay. Extend that right arm outside of you. Gaze at your right fingertips and breathe into the stretch. You might hear some snap, crackle, and pop in the spine. That's okay, it's just decompressing. I invite you to introduce a little playful curiosity to your attention as you observe all the different sensations, how it changes with the body as it moves, as you breathe, and how even the tension comes in waves, and how we can use the breath and our focus to surf or glide through those waves with more ease. You're ready. Slowly release that right leg. And again, reach those arms out. Lift the left leg up. Take that right palm and place it on the outside of that left leg. Pull that left leg in, up and over so that the left knee gently touches or kisses the ground on the right side. Reach and gaze to the left side at those fingertips. Inhale, open up the chest and reach your arms further. Exhale, relax the body deeper into the stretch. So what we're doing is we're learning to use the mind, the breath, and the body to create space and relaxation around stress. So as we learn to control our breath and redirect our focus through the challenging postures in the body, We can learn to control our breath and redirect our focus through the challenging moments in our mind, through the challenging circumstances in the real world and the people around us. There's great power that comes from being able to lean into the resistance, breathe through the discomfort, find a way to create space within that tension and grow stronger as a result so that we can contribute our best to the spaces around us. That is our superpower as human beings. It's our birthright. Release both legs in front of you and gently push yourself back up into the seated position. Place both hands on the center of your chest. Notice how the body feels a little different, a little bit more open. And breathe in a sense of gratitude into the area of your heart right now. Like you're breathing that gratitude into your heart. To be grateful for this practice as it allows us to step into the challenges with our full power. Take a deep breath in here. And just sigh, one last big, beautiful exhale. Gently open your eyes and seize the day. It's yours. Have a beautiful rest of your practice. I hope you'll join us as we continue to practice and share the practice for all the challenges, but all the milestones and growth that lies ahead.